So trying to figure out this whole Cardano versus Bitcoin thing, huh?
Yeah,
Well, you came to the right place because that's what we're diving into today.
definitely a hot topic.
For sure.
Hmm.
We're going to help you navigate the crypto world. It can be a little overwhelming sometimes, right?
It certainly can be.
Yeah. So let's start with where things stand right now, November 23rd, 2024.
Okay, sounds good.
Cardano, it's ADA in the trading world.
Okay.
It's currently at 1.0009252,
Okay.
which is an 8.39% jump in just the last 24 hours.
Pretty impressive.
Now, compare that to Bitcoin, the OG crypto. It's at $94,799.48,
Wow.
a respectable 4.3% gain for the day. But ADA is definitely the one making headlines lately.
Seems like it.
It's like ADA is the exciting new startup that everyone's talking about in hushed tones, and Bitcoin is like the steady blue chip stock,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
What do these numbers tell us? What's the bigger picture?
Well, you got to look at market cap to understand that. It's like a measure of a cryptocurrency's overall value.
Right.
Bitcoin's still the king, though. Commands a massive 57.32% of the entire global crypto market.
That's a huge chunk.
It is huge. But Cardano's no slouch either. It's sitting at $36.25 billion.
So they're both major players. Then what's with all this buzz about Cardano's potential?
Well, in the past month alone, Cardano has just exploded from like 0.34 to over $1.
Seriously?
Almost 200% growth. And Bitcoin has gained a respectable 39%.
Wow.
But yeah, Cardano is definitely stealing the show right now.
Is it a buy low, sell high situation then? Because Cardano is obviously much cheaper per coin than Bitcoin.
That's a good question.
So is that a smarter investment?
Well, it's tricky. We need to think about historical performance.
Okay.
Like any savvy investor wants to know about those all-time highs, the peaks that get everyone excited.
Of course.
ADA hit its highest point back on September 2nd, 2021 at $309.
So it's been there, done that.
Exactly. Now, Bitcoin hit its all-time high today, actually. November 23rd, 2024, broke a record $99,565.24.
Wow, that's a milestone.
It is
But that means Bitcoin is at its peak, and Cardano is still way below its record high.
true.
What does that mean for investors?
Well, it could be a buying opportunity for Cardano. There's more room to grow, maybe. More upside.
Okay.
But no guarantees in the crypto world, of course.
Right, high risk, high reward.
Speaking of risk, let's talk about volatility.
Okay.
Crypto markets are famous for their crazy swings up and down. Should we be concerned about that with these two?
Absolutely. Volatility is key here. This is where Cardano really stands out.
Okay, how so?
Its daily trading volume is $2.51 billion, nearly a 7% turnover rate.
I have to admit, I don't really get what turnover rate means.
Oh, it's just basically how much of the total supply of a cryptocurrency is being traded every day.
Okay.
So in this case, almost 7% of all ADA coins were traded today. That's a lot of activity.
Wow.
Compare that to Bitcoin. Huge trading volume, $51.35 billion, but a much lower turnover rate of 2.73%.
So less money's being thrown around with Cardano, but it's changing hands more often.
Exactly.
That seems important. It is. It means Cardano is moving fast, maybe in a more volatile way. Greater volatility could mean greater short-term gains, but also higher risk. Those price swings can go both ways.
So Cardano's for the thrill seekers who are okay with a roller coaster. But what about Bitcoin? Is it the safer bet for people who want a slow and steady climb?
Well, Bitcoin's growth might look slower in the short term, but its long-term potential shouldn't be underestimated. It's the bedrock of the crypto world after a proven track record of resilience, and more institutions are adopting it.
That makes sense. So we have high-flying, maybe lucrative Cardano on one hand, and then reliable, historically strong Bitcoin on the other. Tough choice.
It is. And to make things even more interesting, both are showing positive signals on longer-term technical indicators, specifically the 1-day and 7-day charts.
Can you explain what technical indicators are and why they matter? I know you don't want to get too technical.
Sure.
But a little context would be great.
You're right. It's good to understand the basics. These indicators are basically mathematical formulas that analyze price trends and trading volume.
Okay.
Things like the relative strength index or moving averages, trying to predict future price movements.
So like a crystal ball for the crypto market.
Not quite that magical. But they can give you some valuable insights. And right now they're suggesting a generally bullish sentiment for both Cardano and Bitcoin.
So good news all around.
The charts look good right now, but nothing is certain in the world of crypto, of course.
Right, good to remember that. So where should I put my money? That's the million-dollar question. What do you think?
Well, based on everything we've discussed, I'd recommend a balanced approach, but leaning a bit towards Cardano.
Okay.
Maybe a split of 60% ADA, 40%
What?
CTC.
60-40? That sounds a little risky. A lot of people think Bitcoin is the safer bet. Why are you so bullish on ADA?
It's Cardano's technology and its potential for growth. You see, Cardano is more than just a cryptocurrency.
Okay.
It's a whole platform built on a blockchain, kind of like Ethereum. But Cardano is all about peer-reviewed research and a super rigorous development process.
So it's like the brainy overachiever of the crypto world.
Uh-huh, exactly. And that's getting a lot of attention, especially in the world of decentralized finance, DeFi.
Okay.
Cardano could be a game changer there, and that's driving investor interest. Plus, it's still early days for Cardano.
Right.
As more developers and projects get on board, we could see huge growth, maybe even rivaling Bitcoin eventually.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
But isn't that high volatility a bit of a double-edged sword? How do we know this upward trend will last? Couldn't it just crash down?
That's always a possibility with any investment, especially crypto. But Cardano's recent performance isn't just hype.
Yeah.
It's backed by real-world applications and a growing ecosystem.
So there's substance behind the hype.
Mhm.
But you're still saying put more money into ADA than into Bitcoin, which is tried and true.
Yeah.
That seems risky. Why are you so confident in Cardano's long-term potential?
Think of it this way. Bitcoin paved the way. It proved cryptocurrencies could work. But it's like the first generation of a technology. Cardano is the next generation, building on those foundations, but with a focus on scalability, sustainability, and security.
So like comparing the first clunky cell phones to the sleek smartphones we have today.
Exactly. Cardano is designed to handle way more transactions than Bitcoin, so it's more suitable for widespread adoption. It also uses a more energy-efficient consensus mechanism,
Okay.
which is important as people think more about the environmental impact of crypto mining.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
I see why you're excited about it. But even with all this potential, there are always risks, right?
Yeah.
What could derail Cardano's success?
Oh, for sure. No investment is without risk, crypto especially. Regulation is a big one.
How so?
Governments around the world are still figuring out what to do with cryptocurrencies.
All right.
Any new rules or restrictions could impact prices, and not always for the better.
So keep an eye on the legal landscape. What else?
Technology is another factor.
Right.
Crypto is constantly evolving. New platforms and technologies are always coming out. And there's always a risk that Cardano or even Bitcoin could become obsolete.
It's like the Wild West out there.
Anything.
Think could happen.
Exactly. It's exciting, but you have to be cautious and do your research.
So in this crazy fast-paced world, what advice would you give our listeners who are thinking about crypto investing? What should they keep in mind?
First, do your research. Don't just jump in because you see a price going up or someone's talking it up on a podcast.
Right.
Take the time to understand the technology, the team behind it, and the potential risks.
Just like any investment. Due diligence is key.
Exactly. And never invest more than you can afford to lose. Crypto can be super volatile. You need to be prepared to lose money.
That's good advice. So we've talked about Cardano's impressive recent performance, Bitcoin's strength, the risks and rewards of crypto investing. It's a lot to take in. The crypto market is always moving.
It is.
Prices change fast. New stuff pops up all the time. So staying informed is crucial.
I agree. It's dynamic and it never stops changing.
It's been a wild ride just trying to wrap our heads around these two cryptocurrencies. But I think we've given our listeners a good starting point for making their own decisions.
Yeah, definitely. And remember, we've just scratched the surface here. There's a whole universe of crypto out there.
Right. We focused on Cardano and Bitcoin today. But there are tons of altcoins, each with its own unique stuff and potential.
Exactly. So as you learn more about crypto, don't be afraid to look beyond the big names. You might find some hidden gems.
That's what makes it so exciting. It's like a treasure hunt. Any final words of wisdom before we let our listeners go on their own crypto adventures?
Remember the basics. Do your research, diversify your portfolio, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. Oh, and most importantly, stay curious.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So to all our listeners out there, keep learning, keep exploring, and maybe you'll ride the next crypto wave to financial freedom. Who knows what the future holds? That's part of the excitement.
Absolutely. And hey, if you ever need a guide through the crypto jungle, you know where to find us.
Until then, happy investing.